All right, y'all, welcome to the Thursday edition of the Whiteboard Wednesday series. Today is a Thursday edition because we have to learn the value of keeping recording backups of uploads that fail that you delete unknowingly and have to record the next day. That's what it goes out to today. Shout out to all y'all that actually back up your stuff normally. So there you go. Breaking down what today's goal is, it's going to be based off of what we had in our video series last week, where we took a string and broke it down into an object of keys that were the letters that appeared in the string and how many times they appeared as the values. So we're going to take that very same logic we wrote last week and we're going to apply it in this week's interview question of maximum character. What maximum character appears in some input string? So in the example of ABB, CCC, DDD, E, we get the value. C is our output. Hello world should generate a lowercase l since that appears 3 times in that string. And in our LeetCoder string here, the number 3 should appear. There are things we can add and trick this one out simply if we had to make sure that strings were sanitized, so have all lowercase letters. We can do that. We can not count spaces. We can count spaces. We can or can't count special characters. Knowing this technique allows us to easily take advantage of how to even take this maximum character requirement and even twist it to answer other questions. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to go a little bit faster through the beginning part here. We're going to need to have two values for our maximum value, which we're going to be testing to see what number is our maximum value. We're going to start at 0. And we're also going to have a max character that's going to represent our string value for whatever the max character is. And down here, I'll go ahead and set up a constant for our string breakdown. So our broken down string map right there is going to be that object we're going to create. So the max and max char will make more sense in the second part here. So let's go ahead and code out what we already know from last week, where we're going to say let character of input string, and this is where we're going to write that same if-else statement we wrote last week, where the condition will be if we have in our breakdown, if the key of character already exists, we want to increment its value by 1. So we're going to say in our string object breakdown of our character, position key character, we're going to increment that by +1 to whatever its current value is. Otherwise, it's the first time it's appearing, which means we need to create it and assign it a value of 1 to start. And returning the breakdown would be exactly what we did last week. But now we're going to take this breakdown and loop through it. So there's actually another ES6 loop, if you all aren't familiar with, called the for in loop. And what the for in loop does is it loops through keys inside of an object so we can get their values. So that's what the for in loop does. So we're going to say, once again, let character, and we can get away with this since it's locally scoped between these for loops. We don't have to worry about overriding this variable somehow. So we can say let character in our breakdown, and character essentially just represents the key inside of our breakdown object. And this is where we're going to run our if statement to say if the current key has a value that's higher than the current max. That's our new maximum and our new key, or new character, so to speak. So our current maximum is 0. So in this instance, if this for in loop runs, it's going to say, hey, how many times does this key A, what's the key A value? Well, it's 1 in this example down here of A, B, B, C, 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 D, D. It's 1. Value 1. Is 1 higher than 0? Yes, it is. So set the new maximum as 1, and the new max key is A. Then it's going to go to the next key. How many times does B appear? Well, it appears twice. Is that greater than 1? Yes, it is. The new max is 2. The new max char is B, and so on and so forth until it finishes the object loop and finds the key that has the highest value. That is our goal. So we're going to say at breakdown key character, if that value is greater than the max, then we're going to set a new maximum value to be the value at that object position. And we're also going to set our maximum character as that key, aka character. And that's our goal. So after this for loop is done running, it should be able to find whatever our maximum max character is, and I want to return the maximum character. And just realized I wasn't scrolled down for that, so there you guys go. That's what I said. So if the value of breakdown at position character is greater than the current max, then we assign a new maximum value based on the value at that object with that key. And then we also set the key as the new maximum character, and then we return the maximum character. So on this little test input down here of A, B, B, C, 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 D, 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 E, we should get hopefully a C popping into our console log. Yes. And if I change it to say hello world exclamation point, and I do the capital W, which really wouldn't matter in this instance, but I'm just trying to be consistent with my inputs over there. Save that file. We do get L in the console log. Hooray! And here's where we can try LeetCoder as my input, and hopefully I get a 3 in the console log as the highest occurring character in this string. So again, you could take and transform this logic to, hopefully it's not too small if I zoom out once again so y'all can kind of see the logic going on here. So the idea being we can take and transform this based on, we can sanitize the input string to be all lowercase characters. We could make sure that special characters are removed via array manipulation, things like that. So there's a number of ways we can take this logic and even answer more complicated questions if they had more stringent rules other than just take a generic string and find the most occurring character, not caring about case and things like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as we took something we learned last week and applied it in a slightly different way this week. That's really all it comes down to with these whiteboard style and algorithm questions. It's all about just practice, and pattern recognition. And once you've coded enough of them, you're going to have a lot under your belt that you can answer just by applying concepts from other questions to a more advanced question. So as always, leave comments below if you have any extra material you'd like to know about. Leave me comments about coding questions you encountered you let me try and help solve. I'll be happy to try and break my back figuring out something that stumped you, or maybe give you a new way of thinking of a certain approach to a question. Other than that, I hope you'll have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll talk to you soon.